Today, it's Paul and Beige and Heather. We're doing Checkpoint.
Yeah.
I think that's like my favorite part of doing Chillpoint. Is to doing the intro where because normally there's a video in there, and so it just like goes away and it's just like, hi. This is awkward.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Chillpoint. I hope you had a good weekend.
Doing my hair.
Yeah. I noticed. I was like, oh,
Take my
I
headphones.
see.
Look,
Mirror.
after that 2 weeks
Yeah, I guess
of
we don't really
travel,
need these.
The
Yeah.
world has changed me.
Yeah, it was originally going to be just me and Heather, and then Beige was here as well, and we were like, that's getting the more hot takes on the news.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Although it makes me, the only problem with you being here, I have to say, is that in the chat, people came up with pH balance
Oh, cute.
as the like Paul Heather
Yeah.
as a good, and I was like, oh, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I like her nickname.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I'm ruining.
I guess
pH
I
balance.
guess you're the B part at the balance, pH, and then.
Oh, PHB.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can go with that. That works.
So anyway, Checkpoint Plus, for those of you who don't know, this would normally be where we do Checkpoint. However, Graham and Kathleen are out of town. Graham, they're going on a much needed little mini vacation.
Graham enjoyed the road so much, he went and found it again.
Yeah, yeah.
Except you don't get to see that one.
And
Then he stole Kathleen
going
away.
going to Vancouver, I believe, to see King Gizzard and the whatever Scissor Lizard. I don't know whatever the
Lizard.
I think it's just Lizard King.
I don't know whatever the band that Kathleen is super stoked about these
I'm
days.
sure we could make up more rhyming words.
Lizard Wizard,
Yeah, okay, there.
King Gizzard, the Lizard Wizard. Anyway, they're playing in Vancouver, and so Graham and Kathleen took that as an opportunity to get a little bit of away time, a little decompress. It's Graham's birthday on June 6th too.
So you know what to do. Get on Twitter
Yeah.
on that day. Not right now. It's too early.
So anyway, you know, we've done Checkpoint. Last week we did Checkpoint where Kathleen and I were presenting it.
Mm-hmm.
We've done Checkpoint with one of the three people that normally do Checkpoint gone, and that works out okay. When two of the people who regularly do Checkpoint are gone, it starts getting a little dicey.
Yeah.
And so
Very loose.
I thought we would do the Chill Point, and the Chill Point is it's basically just the part of Checkpoint after Checkpoint where we just talk about the news, but just not the actual Checkpoint part. So yeah, we're going to talk about some stuff now. I feel like every time we're doing these things, I'm always like, well, there's this big event happening, so the news wasn't that great.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, I just have to admit that, like, maybe the news isn't that great.
E3's next
But
week.
E3 is happening. E3 is a thing.
All the news will happen next week.
And as we talked about, there's, like, the tsunami of news, right? And you know how, like, a tsunami, all the water, like, rushes out to the wave? And so that's sort of something that happens. So we'll see how it goes. So let's talk about some stuff going on. This is in no particular order, but the first thing that I have on my list here is Grand Blue Fantasy, which is a I believe it's
A mobile game? Like a mobile RPG?
a mobile RPG. Yeah. And it's one of these. It's one of these common sort of, I guess, heavily microtransactioned.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got summons with ratings like SSR, which just made me think of Love Live.
It's a gachapon thing.
It's got gachapon.
Yeah. It is also has it's also known for having such characters as Jeanne d'Arc in a bikini.
Yes.
And so it's mostly kind of sexy anime ladies.
Yeah.
Or guys, I think too.
Probably. I don't know. I don't play this game.
So
But I will say yes.
But their latest downloadable entry is a gorilla. the latest character. It's a gorilla,
Its name is Gorilla.
and its name is Gorilla. And it's not like a super intelligent gorilla that like joins your party. It's just a gorilla.
Yep.
I don't know whether. I mean, is it a sexy gorilla?
It's just a gorilla.
It's a handsome gorilla.
I mean,
It,
if
actually,
you
his
find-
name is technically Handsome Gorilla.
If
Or
you-
no, the event
Event's
is called
name.
Handsome Gorilla.
if you find gorillas sexy, then yes. But
I mean,
it is not drawn in a sexy manner of like comic book proportions. It is drawn like a gorilla.
Don't Google sexy gorilla pictures. I'm sure they are a fairly common thing. But yeah, I love that it's just a gorilla. And right now, they're talking about a lot of these games in this genre are focusing on wedding themed.
Yeah, because it's
Stuff?
summer. It's like wedding season. This is why I'm disappointed, because while gorilla is cool, I think they should have many gorillas with outfits.
Like a gorilla in a tuxedo is like a thing.
Tuxedo, wedding dress, bridesmaid's dress. I want the whole wedding party gorilla.
Oh,
All of it.
I love the idea. It's like it's weird how our RPG has turned into a gorilla dress up game.
Yeah.
It's like that
Very
wasn't
subtle that
wasn't our intention,
No.
but it turns out to be way more popular than what we were
have
doing.
Have you read how they're trying to be not spoiler heavy on the Polygon article, but the fact that it's like, oh, you drink some suspicious energy drinks, and then they have hallucinations about gorillas, and gorillas fight, and the gorillas happen.
Like, I love that when you summon Gorilla to fight for you, I guess, once Gorilla is in your party, it makes your party sound like gorillas for 3 turns. And then there's some other stuff that's probably, like, very handy, but really that was kind of the selling point to me. It's like, oh, it makes everybody sound like a gorilla.
Yeah, so it's fun. It sounds like a good party.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
I don't buy that they're suspicious energy drinks, but, gorilla.
Yes, it gives the gorilla effect to all allies.
I mean, if you're gonna monkey around, you might as well go full gorilla.
Not monkeys. Probably very offensive to gorillas.
I didn't call them monkeys. I just said if you're gonna monkey around, go full gorilla.
It's better to just go full gorilla instead.
All right. The other thing, Assassin's Creed Origins, which is, as we all know, is set in Egypt. Very popular Assassin's Creed game. The next Assassin's Creed is going to be called Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and supposedly set in ancient Greece.
Okay.
Yes. It's not a Super Mario Odyssey crossover, is what
No.
you're saying.
That would be pretty amazing, though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I feel like Ezio or one of the Assassin's Creed guys could show up in like a Super Smash Brothers without that. I mean,
Oh,
considering
yeah.
Snake is in it,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it wouldn't be that big a stretch.
It's true.
But I just love this idea of the Greek, and just for some reason the thing that immediately comes to mind, of course, is like a God of War Assassin's Creed crossover.
Oh, yeah.
And just the idea of just
Yeah.
like Kratos, like, with it's all the tattoos and everything and the loincloth and stuff, and then just like an assassin hood
Yeah.
on,
Yeah,
and just be like, Agent, our newest recruit, Agent Kratos, we need you to go kill this guy, and then like, an hour later, it's like, okay, everybody in the entire city is dead.
So
that
probably
wasn't-
the one that you wanted.
Yeah, that wasn't really what the whole like Assassin's Credo. I mean, we do say everything. We say that everything is allowed, but that's not quite what we were looking for.
Yeah.
That's true. Kratos is like in Scandinavia now. Yeah, Agent Kratos, the least stealthiest. Then again, the way I've played Assassin's Creed, sometimes things do not go the stealthy way.
Just run through the streets and just kill everybody.
Well, you usually like start out with the best of intentions.
Right.
But then like once one guy's seen you, and then like another guy sees you while you're fighting that guy, and then there's a certain
Kinda.
point where you're just like, you know what?
kind of dominoes on you.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's just like, okay.
So I'm guessing this was an unintentional leak as well. Like they did not want to.
It was leaked, and then they confirmed it.
Yeah, it was leaked by a promotional keychain.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So what looks like happened is it got leaked, and then it probably.
And then they just
everybody freaked out and went, "What do we do?" And
they just kind of leaned into it.
They leaned into it and they told it, and they'll probably give the rest of the details at E3.
Yeah,
because chances are it was meant to not leak beforehand.
That's fair.
Because there's like a couple of tactics you end up taking when a leak happens. You either confirm it or you just
ignore it.
Yeah. Or you do the dumb thing and deny it.
It seems like this is like this seems like it's going to be swag that gets thrown into the audience at E3 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to there's like a level of secrecy. It's like once you start making novelty keychains, it's like the you're not that concerned about secrecy.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like a lot of people had to be involved in the process in order to get the keychains made.
Yeah, because so many people who play video games at some level, someone in some factory could have just taken a picture of that and been like, "Oh, sweet, a new Assassin's Creed game."
Mm-hmm. I remember actually when they were, I think it was Assassin's Creed 2, or maybe 3. But I was at PAX when they were like releasing it. I went to the like Ubisoft special event where they were releasing it,
right. And
what they had when you walked in, they had just 2 rows of spokespeople or whatever in like white hoodies, or like with with their heads down and like the hoods over the thing,
like
just
a cult.
like 2 rows as you walked in. It was very creepy.
Like a cult.
No. A modern cult. Old cults don't use hoodies.
Right. They use
wear robes, but new modern cults wear hoodies.
So anyway, we don't have that much info about new Assassin's Creed set in ancient Greece, which seems like a solid place to do it.
And a helmet is involved.
So
at least as far as the keychain's concerned.
The Egypt version of the game has like a walk around Egypt tour mode, right?
Yeah.
So you think they do that maybe with the ancient Greek?
That'd be interesting.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like, I mean, there's obviously all sorts of fun stuff that they could do with that. By the way, if you don't know about it, the Assassin's Creed Origins, the tour mode, is really neat. Like it's super cool. You can choose whatever character you want. You can like walk around and you like walk around the whole world. And there's like stuff that you can do in terms of they have like information about different buildings and things that you can do, which is kind of fun. But also you can just like explore the totally crazy world that they built for the thing. Like it's incredibly unreasonably detailed world, I would say. Like there's a lot of it that's empty, but it's still way more detailed than you would expect, considering that there's like nothing there.
Right. They just were like, we have to make this space seem realistic, so
don't
put anything here.
And like the bottoms of lakes and stuff, like you can swim, right? And so you can like look around, like the bottom of the lake has as much like interesting weird geography as like mountains and stuff that you can walk around. It's very weird. Anyway, that is something that's out right now. I was just checking it out. They also the other cool thing about the walk around mode is that they put a they put a tomb into one of the big pyramids. Like in the game, there's a tomb in this big pyramid.
Sure.
And most of the stuff in Assassin's Creed is they try to make it as historically accurate as possible within the confines of the thing, within the confines of the gameplay stuff. There wasn't a tomb in this pyramid. Until about a month before the game came out, and they discovered a tomb in this pyramid.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Not in the same spot, probably, but still.
I love the idea of a game studio working on a game, and a month beforehand, someone just bursts into the room and is like, "Guys, that pyramid we made, they discovered a tomb in it. We have work to do. Now."
Anyway.
Or they just, they put it in there and were like, to ensure that we have this, we'll have to send our own team back in time to make sure that pyramid has a tomb in it.
Ubisoft, yeah. I love that Ubisoft has time travel, and that's what they use it for.
Yeah, that's how they can make everything so historically accurate.
To make it line up with their games. I mean, that's actually that's basically the plot of the the real world part of the Assassin's Creed games. It's like they're using the Animus technology, which allows them to go back and see the past lives of people to make video games.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a lot of Pokemon news.
Uh-huh.
And maybe you guys can help clarify this for me, because it seems like there's been about 4 Pokemon games announced in the last week, none of which are actually a
core,
a real Pokemon game, like the what we normally associate with a Pokemon game. So what are all the Pokemon things that are coming out?
So Pokemon Quest is out now. That's a mobile Switch game that really probably plays better on mobile than on Switch. I haven't
But it is
played
on
it.
both platforms.
It is on both.
Yeah.
And that's
it's a free-to-play thing with timers and stuff. I haven't really.
It's is it like a Animal Crossing kind of thing?
No, it's more like Pokemon. From what I understand, it's like Pokemon Rumble with Minecraft, because they're
Everyone's
all blocky.
cubes,
They're all cubes.
Is it Minecraft and other than just the
No.
cubey thing? Oh,
No,
okay.
no. But you do expeditions and cook food and decorate and stuff. I haven't actually played it. This is all stuff I've read. But that's the one that they put out right on the day that they made all the Pokemon announcements, because they were like, here, this is a game. It's not a core game, clearly. It's just this is a game we've made. I have to check it out yet. I have it downloaded on my Switch because I'd rather keep it on a device that I know it can stay on forever, as opposed to my phone, which will eventually die out with my mobile games. But at the same time, I think it probably works better on a mobile device. I
like that, for since its inception, the Pokemon series has all been about go find the Pokemon and catch them and do the thing. Whereas in Pokemon Quest, literally Pokemon just wander into your camp and you catch them.
Every 22 hours, a Pokemon will come into your camp, or you can cook food for it or something to attract a specific Pokemon. It
seems like that kind of that seems a little contrary to the questing aspect.
Well, there's expeditions.
If it's just stay there
that let you gather resources so
to
you
get
can
tasty food to lure
the Pokemon.
Yeah.
And if you think about the fact that you're luring Pokemon in, that kind of makes some kind of sense. It's not quite the same as
going
smart.
out. You decided, I'm not going to go quest for anything. I'm just going to sit here and let them come to me.
It's why do I spend all this work wandering through tall grass all the time?
Yeah.
When I can just sit here and cook some tasty stew or whatever. I guess different Pokemon like different things.
The other one in the official announcements was Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, which is the one that's coming out this November. And it is, it's not I believe they've stated it's not a core Pokemon game.
Because it's based on Pokemon Yellow.
It's based on Pokemon
Gold
Yellow.
Silver, isn't it?
No, Gold Silver is 2nd gen.
I'm sorry.
Red Blue is 1st gen, as was Yellow. But Yellow was the 3rd iteration that let you have Pikachu walk behind you.
So this is
had game elements from the cartoon, so Team Rocket was in it.
Yeah, but this is not a remake.
This is not a...
This
as
is
far as I know, it's based upon Yellow, and it involves a bunch of mechanics from Pokemon Go. And from what I've read, it seems like I would call this a transition game, because what they're trying to do is get people who are playing Pokemon Go, who have not played Pokemon, the RPG series, as into basically getting a Switch, playing this game, and then when the core game comes out in 2019, they'll probably jump on that.
Right,
is what it seems like they're trying to do.
Yeah, there does seem to be this weird it's like Pokemon Go, except for people who don't want to go outside and do Pokemon it's like Pokemon Go, but without the go part.
Well, because there are the go parts and like the Pokeball.
Like you sort of throw it.
So you throw it.
They took some of the same actions for like
I
you
believe
throw.
it looks like you probably can use the touch screen, but they're showing motion controls because the commercial, the ad that they released shows people playing with the motion controls.
So you like throw it.
Yeah. So there's a throwing aspect to it. There's a bunch of stuff we don't know about, like because they just showed a trailer. There's the fact that your Pokemon walks around with you, which is a big thing. There's dressing up your Pokemon, which personally I'm excited about because costumes are fun.
Yeah, but this isn't just a fancier Pokemon Go. Like this is an RPG.
Yeah.
It is a walk around, do whatever. But the fighting and capture style is different than the traditional core RPG methods were. It's
sort of a simplified.
Yeah, you can't. It looks like you can see the Pokemon on the map that you want to interact with, rather than necessarily running into them in grass.
Right.
Although I don't think they've
removed that either.
I don't think they've confirmed that that's fully been removed.
Yeah.
It's hard to say on
the
that.
The most compelling point of this, though, is having the different size Pokemon do different things following you. Because small one rides on your head.
Like Eevee will ride on your head. A medium-sized one, like a Gengar, will walk around behind you. But you ride on Onix. Giant rock thing. It's very cool.
You can't have like Snorlax on your head.
No, that would be lethal.
I think you'd be dead.
But that would mean, I guess, you get to ride around on Snorlax.
Yeah, I actually think one of the more compelling things is the 2-player local co-op that they were kind of showing, where a second person brings in another avatar and you run around the map and play the game together, which is a thing that they haven't done before, and that screams of adult who likes Pokemon wanting to show their kid Pokemon so they can play together to me, but I think that's awesome.
Now, isn't there also like cross-play stuff with Pokemon Go? Like you can catch a Pokemon in Pokemon Go and then like
you can transfer it over to the game,
which is that's a neat idea.
Which is pretty cool. I really liked the quote in the Polygon article from Masuda, who had said that basically the idea is that for younger players who maybe don't have a smartphone but are kind of playing it with their parents' phone, they can get a Pokemon caught in there and maybe sent to their game, and then they can raise it on their own game, which I think is pretty cool. And it also looks like you can get gifts from the Pokemon Go app, or maybe vice versa. The peripheral, the Pokemon Joy-Con, the Pokeball Plus thing, is interesting to me because it's not cheap, but it's basically a Joy-Con mixed with a device called the Pokemon Go Plus, which is a thing you can get for Pokemon Go. It's like a bracelet that you can
Yeah, I remember them advertising that. Yeah,
but then it's also, as far as I'm concerned, basically adding in the Pokewalker. From like 2010.
So I
have a Pokemon in here.
A Magikarp?
Yeah, this is Andrew. This is from my Soul Silver game, which I actually did.
Wait, you're taking your Magikarp for a walk?
Yeah, you can catch Pokemon in here. There's like little mini games in here.
Yeah.
Put the poor Magikarp back in the water.
No, he's used to flopping around. I've seen her play Magikarp jump. That thing is very active. It's very agile.
Yeah, Magikarp is fine.
So it's kind of a the Let's Go ones seem to be
with like a leash and just a Magikarp lying on the ground, just dragging it along the ground.
I went to so many conventions when Soul Silver came out, and I got my thing. You wore this in a place where people could see it, because you could connect two of them together, and then it would essentially give both players a gift.
Oh, neat.
And you can play little mini games where you can get items and different Pokemon and different paths, and then you can connect it back to your game.
So this new Pokeball device thing,
you can put a Pokemon in it and take it for a walk with you.
So it has a life apart from the Switch.
Yeah.
You can also use it with your smartphone for Go as well. In some ways, is what I thought they'd
Well,
said.
that's what I mean by the Pokemon Go Plus device, because it's supposed to work like that device does as well.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
But it only lasts 3 hours. It takes 3 hours to charge.
No. Apparently, thoughts that the 3-hour battery life is possibly a typo.
I would assume so, because I'm like, there's no way
Because
that...
it doesn't actually make sense for the kind of device it is.
Given that an actual Joy-Con can last you like 8 or 9 hours or whatever, like it just lasts you a stupid long time or whatever and can charge really fast, it's like if they put the same battery in this big ball, I'm like, well, no, you could put a larger battery in that, and it has less to do. Because I think it's not actually like, it's not autonomous. Anything that has to do with anything, because there's no screen on it, right?
No.
No, the Pokewalker has a screen. There's no screen on this thing.
There's a light.
There's a light. So it's like
there's
it's
no
meant to
screen
be
on
a
it.
controller. It's not meant to be its own device.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually going to only have a 3-hour battery life.
They are 100% going to have to give, like in the manual or whatever, be like, do not throw this thing at people.
It has a wrist strap, so even if you do throw it, that it would just fall off. But I do like what I think is, so there's 4 games brought up. There's Pokemon Quest, there's Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and then there's...
So the 4th game is not... It's not the same... If we're talking about what I think we're talking about, what we're talking about is the beta demo of Silver and Gold.
Yeah.
Right, there's that whole thing, yeah.
Which is... It has a bunch of Pokemon in it that were... not in that game, in a completely different map, and a bunch of stuff on it, and that's been revealed recently, and I think there's a group that's trying to recreate it.
Oh,
so
people want to actually make
well,
it.
Of course people want to
Well,
make it.
because there's been so many like hacks of Pokemon.
There's
like,
hacks, there's people who make their own Pokemon games.
People have the ROM for the demo now, and I was reading through a Twitter thread on their kind of discovery, which is very interesting because the person doing all the discovery on this on Twitter doesn't speak Japanese, because I was looking at what was being said, and they were like, I think this person's talking about whatever, like this character's talking about whatever, and I went and I read the screen, and I'm like, it's all Japanese, but I can read that, and I'm like, oh, that's very simple. If I can read it, then it's it's somebody who's taken a little bit would probably be able to make it out.
There's
and it's very there's a whole bunch of stuff that they dropped, like a whole bunch of Pokemon that never made it into
but
Pokemon.
the map was also much huger, was bigger.
Yeah.
Those
much bigger.
are a lot of them. Some Pokemon like Jiggurath, which is the weird kind of giraffe with a weird tail face, had a different look where it was both.
Yeah. It was like a two-headed
giraffe. It was a two-headed giraffe.
Yeah.
It didn't have a different tail butt face.
It just literally had another head on its tail that was an evil-looking one.
And then some of them are like way different. Like this one here is the
Beta
prototype
Pichu.
of the Pichu, which did happen. But then I think there's also baby Pokemon of like Meowth and other types who just didn't happen.
Yeah. Porygon 2 is kind of completely different.
I feel like they have enough Pokemon that are just basically like spheres with little ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They already have like a bunch of those.
This one, which I believe someone referred to as Screaming Metal something, is a evolution of Ditto.
What?
Where you gave it.
I thought Ditto didn't evolve.
Well, you gave it like a metal coat or something. There's some Pokemon. There's a lot of ways to evolve Pokemon, but for this one, some Pokemon have an item that when they're holding and they level up, they will evolve. And so I believe the idea for this one was you give it this item, and then it evolves into a screamy.
This is some of these dudes we're looking at here.
Yeah. So bottom row, 5th from the right.
Yeah. Metal Screen.
Yeah. There's
as with, like, this is Kathleen and I 2 weeks ago. There was the thing of like the original Pokemon designer's notebook that got sort of released and showed some sort of like hand-drawn things. And of course, the joke that Kathleen and I were talking about then was it's like with all the Pokemon, the however many 100 Pokemon that are in the current thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think that there are some that have been rejected, like that they had a list, they had these Pokemon already made and ready to go, and they haven't gone back to them. Like when it's like, okay, we need 200 more Pokemon for this game. Maybe we could go look at those Pokemon that we took out of that other game.
So MTV CDM's like hot take: all Pokemon should evolve into screaming face blobs. Let me tell you,
That should be like the intermediary.
So there
step.
is. So you all know what Ditto looks like, right? With the very plain face that Ditto has. There is one episode in like the first season of the anime where they come across a Ditto who tries to transform, and he can get the whole thing right except for the face, so that every time he transforms, it's a Pokemon but with like Ditto's face, and it's really cute. They've made a plush series of that, which is great because those are all cute. There are people who've made fan art of Screaming Metal Ditto also not transforming properly, so there's a whole bunch of Pokemon with its face on it.
With the screaming face.
And it's great.
Yeah.
The internet is fantastic.
I love that's actually, because like that's the typical depiction. It's like Ditto being somebody is like, or Ditto being another Pokemon is like that Pokemon but with a Ditto face.
Yeah.
But it's like the real insidious thing is that's a Ditto that didn't know how to transform properly.
Yeah.
In reality, any Pokemon could be a Ditto, and you don't know.
Yep.
You could be a Ditto. We all could actually secretly be Dittos.
My favorite so far has been the squishy round lion or tiger.
Oh, yeah, the round lion.
Is he in here?
He doesn't have a name.
No, but Mary Cakel's been doing colorings and fan art of him.
Right.
I've seen.
Is his name Roundleon?
No, that would be really good.
I've seen a lot of people actually taking the sprites and coloring them, and doing different colorways that have been pretty neat.
Wait, are you just gonna do a Google search for
Pokemon round tiger try?
round tiger? Lots of pictures of Tiger Woods.
Oh, where is our new round tiger?
Try lion.
Maybe it is lion. He has stripes though.
I know, but it's the internet.
Is that him?
No, that's a real Pokemon. Also, that one's Rowlet, who is round.
I know
Yeah.
that's Rowlet.
Yeah. That's super weird. I wonder where he is.
Tiger Woods is a Pokemon. He could be a Ditto.
Somebody in the chat, find me round lion boy.
That's still like my favorite Photoshop for Checkpoint. We did a thing about there was a sexiest Pokemon. There's like a sexiest Pokemon thing that a poll that some website did.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, people had very, very specific things.
It's Gardevoir.
And our take on it was, it's like, well, clearly we all know the answer is Ditto being George Clooney.
Yeah. Cute.
And so I got to do a Photoshop of George Clooney with the
Ditto face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That sounds good.
Yeah, this is perfect Tiger boy. Tiger Mouse boy.
This is round tiger boy.
Yeah. He is so good, and they never used him, and now everyone is doing fan art of him.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. This one and the Metal Ditto have been very popular for fan art.
To be fair, in terms of like, unique Pokemon styles, I mean, like a round cutified tiger with lightning stuff. I feel like that is an area that has been well trodden by in the Pokemon thing.
Yet here we are with a brand new one.
And here we are.
They have an electric cat tiger thing as one of the legendaries in the second gen.
Oh, so this could be like a precursor to that legendary in a way.
So legendaries don't evolve except from one, which only has a baby Pokemon, and it's very complicated.
That's fine.
I'm pretty sure this guy evolves into Tony the Tiger.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool and weird. There were also so the map was larger, and people said it looked like it spanned all of Japan, as opposed to, and was like much larger than the original map. But there were also like some mechanics that were mentioned in the article, like skateboard, which works like the bike, except you could also use it inside. Because the bike makes you go real fast.
There he is, yeah. Because I remember that he has the lightning stripes. That was like a genre that he went through. It was like,
oh my god, that's ridiculous.
Tony the Tiger with lightning stripes, and I was like, oh wow, that fits perfectly.
Um,
Anyway.
Yeah, but like, the bike, you can't drive around inside, but the skateboard that they had nerfed was a thing that sped you up that you could also use inside.
Right, because the bike does the whole. It's like you can't ride the bike inside. It's like,
Yeah,
screw
no,
you.
the game won't let you. The game's just like, that's not the time or place, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or it might do that thing where it's like, and then you thought about what Professor Oak would do, and he said no, or something to
It's
that.
like, screw you, Professor Oak. You're not my dad. Wait, are you my dad?
I don't know. You don't seem to have a dad.
He never cops to it anyway.
At least not in the first game. There's your mom who helps you with your money by keeping it.
It's a complex relationship.
I mean, it's a good idea to send half your money to mom, because if you black out, they take a lot of your money. The streets of Pokemon are rough. You make eye contact, you gotta fight, and then somebody's losing half their cash.
Yeah.
And it might be you.
That's harsh. Jeez.
Send your money to your
Many
mom.
Poke kids seem to be fatherless. Well, considering how much fighting happens, it's not that surprising, I guess. All right. So that was lots and lots of Pokemon news.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a lot of it.
Another thing that is super cool is a neat thing. The Sony has made a sweet theme for the Pride Month,
Which is this month.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it should be loaded. I loaded it up on our
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they called it for all players.
for all the players.
That's really
And
good.
it's super sweet. Yeah,
It's-
it's like all. It's great. I'm fully in favor of all the wonderful Pride celebration stuff. Obviously for the wonderful message that it sends, but also I like rainbows.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good too. Rainbows are
It's
also
great
good.
that there's so many more rainbows in merchandise and stuff out there because of people celebrating Pride celebrations.
Yeah.
Like Apple in their thing today, they just announced like new rainbow wristbands and rainbow stuff on there.
Because they already had the one, right? They're like, we already have the Pride wristband for the watch, but now we're going to make a new one for this year that had this intercut with white stripes. This looks really good.
Even more Pride.
You should play Bit Trip. You get rainbow butt.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You have a prideful butt. But yeah, and I like that it is like it's not like, hey, gay pride, the special gay pride theme. It's for all players.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's just like it's got the rainbow thing, and so everyone knows that's what it's talking about. But
Yeah.
the message is that it's sort
it's
of
for everyone.
ultimate
Yeah.
inclusivity.
Pride is for everyone.
Indeed. So that's super cool. Good job, Sony, for doing that. Alrighty.
Then this.
Yeah, it's a left turn here.
I desperately want to play this game, actually.
Actually, yeah, I didn't know this game existed, and now I'm kind of interested in it.
There's this neat game that I don't know how good it is, but it's a neat idea for a game called My Child Lebensborn. Lebensborn? I assume that's a German.
Yeah, Lebensborn.
Lebensborn. It's out for Android and iOS. And what's interesting is it's a game about bullying. The end result is it's a game about bullying, but it's set in Norway in the 1950s, and the player is the parent of their kid, who has their parent.
You adopted this child.
Yeah, you adopted this child, and the child's father was a Nazi.
Yeah.
Like was
Yeah.
with Germany in war and stuff, and this is in the 1950s in Norway, which suffered a lot, and so the idea is that you have to it's sort of a game where it sort of starts out as like, oh, you have to do management of like your finances in your house and all this kind of
You only
stuff.
have so many task slots stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Well.
And but then it sort of turns into and so like your child, who's your son or daughter, I believe you can choose. You can either be
you can choose the
mother or father
the
and son or
gender
daughter
of the child and your gender.
Mm-hmm.
So you can send off, and they go off to like the first day of school, and things do not
kids
go
super excited.
Things do not go well.
Yeah.
And so part of the game is sort of dealing with the trying to help your child deal with the bullying.
And
situation.
It's an interesting form of bullying too, because it's not just there are other kids bullying my child. There are because of the child's lineage, the bullying also happens from other parents and from their teachers,
right,
as well.
And also like you as a parent, or as the sort of parent of the kid are sort of under
you would be as well.
So it sounds like a neat idea. It's a it's like a what, I don't know what you would call it, the type of game. It's sort of like a time management kind of game where you have like
a time management
where you have like different a bunch of different tasks that you can do each day, but you only have a certain number of slots for things that you can do and stuff. So it seems like it's sort of a relatively simple form of a game from a gameplay perspective, but sort of telling this interesting idea.
This link into the chat so that chat can find the game, because it sounds like a few are interested in.
This is just a link to the Polygon article about it.
It's a mobile game, right? It's on Android and iOS.
Android, iOS, yeah.
And it's kind of like when reading about this and looking at it, I'm like, this sounds incredibly interesting, and it's also the kind of thing where it's like, I just want to do right by this imaginary child that I've adopted.
Yeah.
That does not deserve to have this happening to her.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the kind of game that could be a little bit not dangerous, but sort of you have to be a little bit careful about it when you go into it, for yourself. Just like it seems like it could be, like some of these other games, like Papers, Please and stuff. That like depending on where you are. In the real world, from an emotional standpoint, it could get
there were things that happen in Papers, Please that I got so sad about. I just wanted to give my kid a gift and then put that awesome picture they made up in the place, and they got mad at me for it.
So anyway, interesting idea to do bullying, which is of course something that is very much an important or a difficult topic, right today in the current times, but sort of putting it into the context of this, the post World War II, and sort of dealing with some of the same kind of stuff. All right. Other stuff. Fortnite has done an update. In their latest update, they've made a change. They've implemented. I don't know if this is the first time they had it, but they made some changes at least to their streamer mode. And this is a thing that a lot of games are doing these days. This sort of streamer modes, and obviously Fortnite, ridiculously popular as a streaming game.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're currently the most popular streaming game, and so as well as like hiding things in terms of not showing like what server you're on and that kind of stuff, or your IP address, and making sure that kind of stuff doesn't get displayed on the screen. The other change that they're making is to sort of anonymize your username for other people.
Right.
So when other people are, going around and they like mouse over, they shoot you or whatever, or you shoot them, it won't say whatever, loading ready run killed you.
Yeah.
Or that's loading ready run over there. It'll just be like some
random name.
Died.
Which is an interesting idea. I don't know I feel like there aren't any other, like, I don't think any of the other sort of battle royale multiplayer type games do this kind of anonymization thing. There's lots of stuff that sort of change the overlay that you're playing with.
Yeah.
But the idea of actually making it so that, and so some people are kind of annoyed about it, so obviously it's to stop stream sniping,
Yeah.
as in people who are like trying to deliberately mess up a streamer.
Yeah, there are people who stream snipe because they're awful people, but there are also people who stream snipe because they think that if they can take out a top tier streamer, that somehow all of those people will start to follow them.
Because all of this person's way more talented.
And yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't feel super bad for you if
Yeah.
you but the people who are like, I think it's really cool when I come across so and so, and it's neat to know that I got to
Yeah.
like do a thing with them, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad for you though.
Yeah,
'Cause
like, I
that,
mean,
that sounds cool. That's something I can relate to.
like we've done stuff when we're streaming, like I know especially like James and I, when we've been playing, we've played sort of games on like 18 games and counting, like Rust or different things
Yeah.
where we end up kind of hooking up with some people from the chat who happen to be players, and we're like, oh, okay, we'll go here and hang out or whatever.
Yeah.
And so this kind of does limit that thing, and so there's a lot of sort of there's some people sort of complaining about it, and but mostly people are like, thanks stream snipers for ruining it for everybody, which is fair.
I mean,
That
seems fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
trolls ruin things for everybody.
There are people who've made friends that way, right? Like you play a game, you run into a person a few times, you enjoy playing with them, you might continue to play. Whereas,
Right.
So, yeah, I can totally get that. But at the same time, I can also understand maybe not wanting to get dogpiled by a bunch of stream snipers when you're trying to.
And it is
stream a game.
it is optional to turn on. So obviously, I think it's definitely a good feature to have. And if a streamer doesn't want to use it, they don't have to use it. Having it available as a feature, I think is a positive move regardless. So anyway, other stuff. Whoop. Fallout New Vegas is getting an unofficial expansion,
A mod.
That has apparently been like 5 years in the making, called Fallout New California. This is a totally non-official thing, but it's apparently surprisingly well developed, according to this article anyway, on Polygon, and they're currently they're actually almost they say I think they pushed it to it's about 4 months or so, because they say that like the actual game, the main sort of story and quest and stuff is basically complete at this point. 16,000 lines of dialogue.
Wow.
But they want to take the next 4 months and add like side quests and stuff.
Oh my god.
So they want to make it like a real thing.
And this is a team that is like obviously completely like apart from.
Yeah, this is just like a fan-made thing.
Yeah, these are just guys who are like, we want to get together and make a tool conversion mod, and so they're doing that. And it's like, it kind of reminds me of like with XCOM, The Long War, where they said we're going to do this huge mod that changes the nature of the game, and then all of those things end up getting integrated, or not all, but a lot of those things get integrated into official versions of the game.
Yeah, I mean it's happened many times that people, makers of mods like this, do get tapped by the real by the real developers, especially in something where, in this particular area, Bethesda is one of the more relaxed about these kind of things. Obviously, somebody making mods for Nintendo games probably doesn't get very far.
They have a tendency to take them down right away. Most of the mods I've seen for Nintendo games are like Pokemon based,
Yeah.
though. So
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see whether like Mario Maker stuff, whether Nintendo has been kind of keeping an eye on people making really great Mario Maker levels. Like not the stupid hard ones, but ones that are actually like fun to play.
I'm actually surprised they didn't bring that out to the Switch already.
Mario Maker?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got especially with the touchscreen and whatnot too. Like, I mean, the Wii U had the touchscreen, the Switch has the touchscreen, so I can see.
I'm just surprised they haven't done one for the Switch yet.
Maybe they
Yeah.
will. Maybe we're waiting on one maybe in a year or two.
I feel like they should probably bring out an actual
2D Mario
a 2D Mario game to sort of illustrate what a game made by Mario Maker would look like. Like it's sort of weird to have the only Mario game be like a full 3D thing, and then it's like, hey, you can make Mario games, but not the Mario
Not
game
the 3D ones, no.
not the one that you've played, but you know, Mario games like ones from the old thing.
Unless that's the new strategy, is like we're gonna keep making these like 3D ones, and if anybody like all the other stuff that we're gonna that 2D games on this platform, 2D Mario games on this platform will be solely made by the fans. And there'll be collections of the best levels we can find that people can play them from end to end. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like that would be super neat,
Yeah.
but I feel like you don't want to hold your breath on Nintendo
No.
doing something like that. But
Absolutely
the idea of Nintendo doing something like that is very exciting.
Absolutely, it is.
Just give me my Animal Crossing game already, Nintendo. Also, that's a funny thing. Animal Crossing shorthand is AC, which is also Assassin's Creed shorthand. So now, let's just have an Animal Crossing Assassin's Creed crossover, please and thank you.
I like it. I think I like the idea of just of both, like have it work both ways.
Yeah.
Like have your like little Animal Crossing village, and like an assassin just like shows up, but doesn't like assassinate anybody. He's just
No.
like there and like hangs out and dances and whatever, flips your light on and off.
Yeah.
Whatever people do
Yeah.
when they hang out in your village.
This is like where he lives.
Yeah. And yet you have to like build a tower and like a pile of straw to get him to come. And then he'll be like, "Oh, I like that. I'm gonna come over and hang out at your house." And then on the other side, you know, cute woodland creatures come over to the Assassin's Creed world wearing hoods, and they're the perfect assassins because nobody expects a
Yeah.
Well,
adorable bunny to.
Except for Tom Nook. 'Cause everybody's going to recognize him on sight, and he's just going to be dead.
That's no good. He's my favorite character.
I know, but a lot of people feel burnt by him
I
for
love
some reason.
Tanukichi. Anyways.
A little chibi assassin, or just for some the idea because like an eagle is
Yeah.
sort of the thing for Assassin's Creed. Like in Assassin's Creed Origins, you have Senu, your eagle friend.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
So the idea, so you could have like an eagle, but have the eagle like wearing the assassin's
Yes.
hood.
That's good. That's good. Maybe make them all photorealistic animals doing the. That'd be interesting. Apparently, there's lots of crossover fan art of the
oh,
two,
I
so.
would not doubt.
Anyway.
I get excited every time there's a new Assassin's Creed out because everyone's like, "Oh, AC thing, whatever," and I'm like, "Animal Crossing?
No.
No."
There's an Animal Crossing game set in ancient Greece. Ooh.
Yeah, I'd play that. Wouldn't you?
So in other Bethesda news, there's so Bethesda has a game called The Elder Scrolls Legends, which is a card game, digital card
okay,
game.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they this is the one that like way back in the day they and Mojang got into a big kerfuffle about because
Oh.
Mojang had a game called Scroll. We're coming out with a card game, digital card game called Scrolls, and there was like this. They're like, well, people will confuse it because they'll think it's Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
And so they're switching. They're changing, moving Elder Scrolls Legends to a new developer. And I thought this was a fun. Or I thought this story was great because so Direwolf is the company that has been developing it, which is also the company that does Eternal, which seems like a bit of a
Yeah.
conflict of interest, but who knows? But what I love about this is they say that they are totally. It's not because they're unhappy
Yeah.
with what Direwolf has been doing, but we're moving him to Sparky Pants Studios. And they say the list of changes that they want to do is a remade user interface, menus, and visuals because they see a lot of untapped potential. So it's like
So
So it's like you're not unhappy with what those people are doing.
You guys
You
said-
just want to take it to a different company and have them change the entirety of the visual look
No,
of the thing.
I'm not saying I hate everything you did. I think you guys did fine. But we're gonna go get somebody else to do everything over.
Yeah, like they do
Bye.
say that the overall game design and mechanics are solid, end quote. And it's like, sure, I mean that's the strength of the game is that is it fun to play, are the mechanics solid? Just the idea that it's like, oh, we're going to we just want to change how it looks because we think it'll have better appeal
Yeah.
from a different company. And yeah, it's kind of like, but it's weird, right? Because it's like rather than go to Direwolf and say we want you to develop a different visual look for this thing or change whatever you're doing, instead they're like, you know, it'd be fun if we just put a different company in charge. That's just a thing you do sometimes. Is just put a different company in charge of a thing you've already assigned to one company. That's a little weird.
It's like it reminds me of
Can.
the like every once in a while you hear these little bits of info come out about the new the Final Fantasy VII remake
Oh, yeah.
redo, and there's stuff like, we've decided to after it had been theoretically in development for like a year, it's like we've decided to take it like in house, and now we're looking to hire like a designer for it, and it's like. So
Yeah.
it's like
Didn't after they get like 2 years into development overall, they were like, yeah, we think we might start over or something as well.
It's not
like,
it's not uncommon for like.
Oh yes, for quality concerns.
So the Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest, they changed one of the developers.
Right,
Yeah, and so they went from like Hibernum to another company, but
there's multiple developers working on it.
well, yeah, because it's like there's DJ Go, I think, is like at the center of that, and then of course WotC's involved with whatever they're doing, but when they dropped Hibernum, it was kind of like, oh, we're dropping them from the thing. Well, I think that was also because Hibernum was closing down. So they had to get out from underneath that and be like, well, because it's going to close down, we have to move to another company. So maybe it was that it could even have just been Direwolf saying that we don't have the time and resources to devote to making your game and our game, and we can keep doing it, but we can't do the kind of development you want us to do. And maybe that was also the reason why they said we have to drop you completely then because we need major changes and you're not willing to put.
Yeah, I mean, who
Yeah.
knows what's going on behind the scenes with some of this stuff. Like, there's the other thing that. I know there's a lot of companies have talked about the idea of like when you have your own game, like your own IP, and then you obviously, as a company, and you people are more like you're more interested to work on your own IP than to be working on. So it's and so like if you are at a point in your company where it's like we're either going to be a company that makes our own games with our own IP, or we're going to be
A company that makes games for other people.
that makes games for other people. This like splitting and trying to do both thing is just not working. Like we can't do sort of both. So you have to kind of decide.
I mean, that's what happened to BioWare.
That's kind of the thing, though. You hear a piece of information because there's so much information out there, where, oh, this developer's getting dropped, or we're adding this developer. But it's not like you get to see the behind the scenes thing where they checked the work and went, oh, we should maybe have someone else do it. Or maybe there was like a political reason of like, oh, we can shift over here. Or maybe that developer was like, hey, we don't have the manpower.
Yeah,
Who knows? It could be anything.
Yeah,
Unless you specifically get told, there's only speculation.
That's why it's always so interesting when, it doesn't happen very often, but occasionally there'll be like either leaks or developers, sort of talking out of school after a project is done. They'll be like, okay, here's the deets. This is why everything was like it was. But anyway, so that was the news that I thought was interesting anyway in the last week or so.
Except for the thing about the one Pokemon concept that was just a gun.
Oh, well, that was
I
sort
mean,
of
that
that was sort
kinda-
of part of the other thing.
Yeah,
So-
but that was funny.
Yeah. One of the
Which actually makes a whole lot more sense now that I see this with Octillery, the evolution.
Oh, okay.
Because Octillery doesn't look like that in the game right now, but it's meant to be a tank. But that name makes way more sense.
The one that's like a revolver is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Remoraid, I think. Who doesn't look like that in the game, but is in the game. Like, those are both in the game. They're just not designed like that.
Yeah. So
it turns out that they didn't want to. They're kind of de-emphasizing the Pokemon are actually just guns. I mean, that's not to say that you couldn't do serious damage to somebody with any given with a lot of Pokemon. I won't say any Pokemon.
The article was talking about how there are fish called triggerfish and those kinds of things. So I think they're trying to go for like a pun, which is not uncommon with Japanese games, and those puns often get lost in translation.
Putting the 6-shooter, whatever you call it, barrel on it.
The gun closet, the bullet closet.
Yes,
like the bullet closet.
The bullet closet. Yes. That's what they call those. Anyway, I think that was all of the news. I don't know if it's not technically video game really, although there's a few things. But there was the WWDC this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if either of you got a chance to look at it.
Each watched it. I expect to be divulged of appropriate information eventually.
New versions of all the operating systems. macOS is getting a dark mode, and some other things. The Workflow team. Remember when Workflow got bought out by? Okay, Workflow is an app that lets you chain together a whole bunch of cool stuff, right? Like Automator, and you can do that on iOS. Well, the Workflow team was bought a year or so ago, and now that is showing up as Siri shortcuts.
Which could be super fun.
It's going to be a really neat way to do stuff on your phone, I think, because I think it'll also simplify a few things. And
we were talking. We were sort of talking about it in the tech channel on the Discord. We were sort of live chatting about it while it was happening, but it was.
Nothing else came up that I was that interested in.
Yeah, it was one of those. I mean, WWDC is always like that. It's sort of like a exciting in potential thing. It's like there isn't here that much that's going to be exciting for me.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for the things that will that people will be able to do with these things.
So the Lego team showed off
the
Lego
AR stuff,
which was very cool. But also, I kind of was like, I'm not into Lego, and so that wasn't my thing. Oh, and your watch now, if you have an Apple Watch, the new version of watchOS will support a mode called walkie-talkie, where you can literally hold down a button and talk into your watch, and it will send it to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How that works practically is going to be very interesting.
Yep.
Because I don't see a way that it's not going to be like you walking down the street and just your watch just suddenly randomly goes like, I'm a big poo-poo head.
Well, it'll chirp first.
Because your friend is an asshole.
Yeah. It'll chirp at you first, so you know there's a message coming in, and then all of a sudden some shitty thing gets said to you. Sure.
Can I get an Apple Watch so I can send you random shout words?
By all means. I'm totally into this idea. So, yeah.
When is a walkie-talkie useful?
Road Quest.
Road Quest.
Road Quest walkie-talkies.
All right.
Very
Next
useful.
time we just buy everybody Apple Watches.
Yeah.
And that will be fine because there was never any problems with.
There's never any problems Wi-Fi. With the radios at all when we were on the road either.
And there's never any problems with Wi-Fi or cell access.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ugh. Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah, other than that, there's some cool AR stuff. I think goggles, like proper good AR, like the equivalent of like Oculus Rift or
so VR but AR.
Vive
goggles,
but for AR, doesn't seem to be like people like there was Nintendo or Microsoft had the HoloLens stuff, but that seems to be kind of dead.
Wasn't Google Glass supposed to do stuff like that?
Absolutely.
A little bit?
Well, that was one of the things they were talking about, like in the future it might do. The ones that they actually released never could do anything like that. But the idea of an AR goggle thing, would be super cool because I always love the demos, but there's a limit to what you. But like the demo is always like people holding iPads like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a limit to how useful that is.
Yeah, to how long I want to stand there holding an iPad up or an iPhone up.
You do like oh, cool, you could have like a D&D game where like the table is all like virtual and do all the stuff.
I mean, if you get like Google Cardboard or something, and you can actually just do this stuff and just have it in front of your face, but then that's different. But, yeah, I don't know. It's not. It's gonna start changing the world, but it's not gonna change the world overnight.
Well, no, I assume AR is going to be a lot like VR. It's going to take a while.
AR is gonna be so great for stuff that isn't games.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I believe 100%.
Absolutely, it is. And games will eventually have really good AR games too.
The question is when it comes to technology, while some stuff has a great practical use, if it doesn't have a marketable use, sometimes that technology won't advance. And if you can find it a marketable use, even if that's not really what it's intended for, it can get enough funding and make itself happen so that the practical uses can also happen.
The real thing that I'm excited about for AR stuff is not the like, oh, it's a thing on a table, but the like some of the stuff that I've like read in like sci-fi. There's a book called, I think it's called Virtual Light, but anyway, like basically the idea like you get glasses that you can wear, and then you can do stuff like say, it automatically like blanks out billboards. So you don't have to look at billboards.
That's cool.
Or like as you're walking around, like if it's somebody like if there's somebody like like a little like tag beside, it's like, hey, this is what this person's name is.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like just like, or it's like, hey, this is like, just like tagging things in your world.
You met this person like 10 years ago and you're like, holy shit, okay.
All that kind of cool stuff.
No, I'm with Torin. Denocoil future.
Yeah, the Denocoil future would be awesome.
The Terminator vision. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Except not like red and weird.
Yeah, and like kill this person,
Well,
you're walking along and your thing goes kill this person. You're like, I need more information, Google. It's like, don't ask, just do it.
So, okay, Google.
You're the boss.
That don't be evil thing is really
They took it out of there.
I know.
Yeah, right.
They're like, okay, now that we've added the kill commands, we probably shouldn't say don't be evil anymore. Anyway,
I guess we're done.
Thanks everybody for watching. Coming up tomorrow. Wait, I have a thing for this.
Oh.
Boop. Come up tomorrow for New Day Tuesday, and I'm gonna be playing Vampire. Das Vampire. Which is a game where you're a vampire and
a doctor.
Dr. Vampire.
Or Vampire Doctor.
Dr. Acula.
I knew they wouldn't take it very seriously. They called the game Dr. Acula.
What kind of doctor are you? What do you have your doctorate in?
Oh, you have to find a cure for something. So I guess you're probably a medical doctor, or you're a pharmacist or some sort of researcher. Because if you're like a neurosurgeon, you're supposed to find a cure for something. You're probably not gonna.
What if you're just a dentist trying to find a cure to gingivitis? What if you're a vampire dentist? What if you're a Dr. Vampire Dentist?
I feel like vampires do have a vested interest in oral health.
In teeth maintenance.
Yeah.
Given that's how they eat.
Yeah. Anyway. Vampire, I don't really know a lot about it, but just from trailers and stuff, it looked kind of neat. It sounds like they're sort of positioning it as like a spiritual successor to some of the like Vampire the Masquerades, like Bloodlines kind of thing. Then tomorrow afternoon we got one more, and James is going to be back with PUBG. And then tomorrow evening we have Cameron and Corey continuing their Stardew Valley adventures.
Yay!
I don't know where they are currently, but
they'll still be in first year. I believe they're still in spring. Because it takes a while to get for time to pass.
And then what else we got going on? We got 9 o'clock on Wednesday. We have Watch and Play with Ben and Adam.
Oh, nice.
For those of you who don't know, Alex is not around this month, so we're different people are going to be filling in on what would normally be streams that Alex is on, like Talking Sim and Watch and Play and stuff. And then on AFK, we're going to be playing Mistborn.
Yeah.
Which is a game that I don't know much about.
It is
But
based in Brandon Banderfan's special novel series thing. A lot of you seem to know about Brandon Sanderson. I don't. But
I don't think his name is Brendan Vandersandervan.
probably not.
It should be,
Yeah,
though.
it's good though, right? That's memorable all of a sudden. So we'll be playing that as a board game.
So anyway, lots of cool stuff coming up. And then, of course, on Friday we've got the Battle Bond pre-release.
Oh my goodness,
Pre-release that is actually after the pre-release.
Oh,
Yeah. It is the release.
Yeah.
right.
For various scheduling reasons, it happens
don't-
afterwards. But we're still calling it the
So-
pre-release for marketing reasons.
Has the release already happened for other people then?
The release is happening this weekend.
Oh, okay. So you're basically just doing it.
The pre-release has already happened.
Oh, okay, I get
So
it.
this
Okay.
is this is the post pre-release,
Yeah, all right.
as in just the release,
Can
or the
we
post
stop
post
making new
pre-release.
this is weird.
We're not making new terms. We're just adding
Can we stop adding modifiers?
modifiers to existing terms. The post pre-release, exactly.
Right.
So that'll be super cool. Now we should welcome some subs because we're doing that.
And look at them all over the
There
course
are
of
many,
2 hours.
many of you.
Wait, we can do the thingamadoodle.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
the Thingamadoodle.
Go!
Captain Spam, 49 months. That's 7 square months of good, hearty, square portions of entertainment. Thank you.
Oh, Peter 200LX. For 21 months, how'd it get to be June already? I know, right? I went away for like 2 weeks.
Nuthouse01 for 22 months. What does this button do? I don't know.
E.C. Jones, 1975 for 53 months. 53 months. This is getting serious.
Commitment. Exit pursued by a bear for 32 months. Welcome back.
Unas84 for 5 months. Oh no, Graham didn't make it to the final road quest checkpoint.
Yes.
He's okay.
Night Valiant, 28 for 51 months. Welcome back, Road Quest crew. You guys are great. Keep beach.
Agreed. Also, welcome back to Tekrashzor for 45 months, and suddenly, Paul!
Ta-da! Stormy Sky for 5 months. Welcome back.
Just a Conspiracy for 9 months. I did it! Sub-ba-ba-bay! I want to name him Chipotle because I didn't want it, but when I was surprised with it, I was very happy.
It's me!
Nice.
I've
Made
been
the
here
roulette.
6 months. Thanks, Rock Pusher.
Kettlefishman Man for 17 months. Histone to Matsu.
Sony Tomasotan is a good anime. It is.
Seavine Prime is a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel.
Coggy9 back for the 3rd month. Welcome back, Coggy.
Sufan 22 for 5 months. The goal of resubbing during each show is still alive. Thank you for all the great content. Thank you for coming back.
Ferocious Peach for 18 months. Welcome back. Stay ferocious.
And welcome back to Coop Dog 22 for 6 months. I've been inconsistent with my sub, but finally have a streak started. Keep up the good work.
Nice. Dretch is a new subscriber.
Slopopotamus has returned for 14 months. Welcome back.
Amazing name. Kitty Horrible is a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel, Kitty.
Cyber Egg for 22 months. Welcome back.
Juniper P1 for 25 months. Welcome back.
And welcome back to Vegetals 4. For 11 months, IRL Adblock sounds amazing.
Asoxa for 2 months. Can I make it? You did.
And for the 402 bits from Earthen One, Kamote Top, Rock Pusher, Mr. SBCD, and the exact same.
Thank you, all you awesome people, for the support of both our both the Twitch and our Patreon and all that great stuff. What is the plan for uploading to YouTube?
This will not go up like a checkpoint. It also probably won't. Well, I don't know about 2 months, but
it'll go up
it'll
like
go
our
up an after show.
like the standard after shows. So with the rest of
They're
the
getting caught up.
yeah,
We're
chugging along.
We're almost at the point where Tabletop Day will go up.
Mm.
So that'll be fun.
And Space Carl for 30 months in a row. Sneaking in under the wire there. All right, so we're going to head out. We obviously normally it would be Dice Friends tonight, but no Dice Friends today. Dice Friends will be starting again next week. But that's it for today, and we will see all y'all tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Bye.